Guys, it's now the end of the week, and you know what that means. Kick back, relax, and let Mad About Games Mikey show you what he spent his money on this week. Apparently it's Black Friday here in Australia. I wish someone had told me before I spent all my money. Anyway, cheers guys.
Mad Mikey Gaming.
G'day beautiful gamers, Mad Mikey here with this week's Gaming Haul of Shit I'll Probably Never Play. The weekly show where I'm going to show you guys what I spent my money on, as I said previously. And don't forget, give us a thumbs up if you like what you see. So let's get on with the gaming haul, because not going to lie, I've got a lot of games to show this week. As you guys know, apparently we've got Black Friday here in Australia now. So I only took one advantage of one of these things this week, and it was Deus Ex Human Revolution for the PlayStation 4. Now, as you know, Mikey, you've already got that on the Xbox. Yes, I do, little Timmy. Well, this has got a 4K update, so I wanted to check it out and see what it looks like. I have had a quick look at it, and it looks awesome. Like, just the God rays and everything like that in the game look beautiful. So if you do have a PS4 Pro, I do highly recommend going down to Big W. No, not Big W. I don't know if Big W's got it, but I know Target does at $35 for possibly one of the contenders of the game of the year, even though they didn't acknowledge it as that. Next up, hitting on to actually a lot of games that I don't know a lot about this week. I just sort of saw them, I bought them, a lot of PlayStation 2 games that I got really cheap. The first one that I got this week was Genji. Now, this is a PlayStation 2 game, obviously, it says it up there, oh my god. It's actually, it looks like a hack and slash game, and what it actually says on there is that a man exists for a generation, but his name lasts until the end of time. Hack and slash game, and it's actually made by Sony, so it can't be that bad. I actually picked this one up for $15 off my mate who I actually bought my first ever Sega Dreamcast off of. We're a part of a Facebook group where we go on, and every Sunday we sort of show what our gaming hauls were for the week. He actually hits up the markets on the Sundays and he sort of shows what he's got. I just sort of put it out there. I said, are you going to keep all of them, or are you looking to offload some of them? He said, look, there's a couple here. Have a list. So obviously I got Genji, and the other one that I got from him was Seven Blades. Now again, I don't know anything about this game other than it's a PlayStation 2 game. It's a hack and slash. This one's by Konami as well. So if anybody knows anything about any of the games that I'm showing today, because I promise you I hardly know anything about any of today's games, let me know. But what this game actually tells you that it features is it features furious hack and slashing. 2 playable characters, each with distinctive, different personalities. Never heard that one before. But they do actually have 2 different storylines, so double the gameplay, double the gameplay, double the gameplay. Woohoo! I'm not gonna lie, this one's based off a TV show, but I remember somebody actually saying to me that they reckon that this is a good game. So I was like, you know what, let's check it out. I think I got it off CEX for like $1.50, and it is $24 the game. Now I've actually only watched a couple of the shows, only because it had Eliza Cuthbert, or whatever her name is, his daughter in it. She was a bit of a thing back in the day, but somebody recommended this game to me, and they said, look, it's actually really good when I got it delivered. So I was like, yes. I really wanted to get into the show. I really love the concept of the TV show. So hopefully that comes through on the game. Now, another TV show to game that I actually liked was Alias. Alias was actually really good. And at that point when I actually started playing Alias, I never got in. I wasn't into Alias. It wasn't until my friend Debo got me into it. And he bought me Season 1. And as per usual, I get hooked after a Season 1 or 2. Much like with Buffy, and that one ended up costing me a lifetime. But this game is complete in box. It's got everything. It's even got the advertisement there for the TV show. So actually really wrapped with that for $1.50, because I have seen it selling for a lot more. And another one that I got from CEX, it was about $5 or so, is Killzone. So now my Killzone collection is complete. I'm a bit bummed out it was a platinum, but the good thing with it being cheap is that I can try and buy it off them again and maybe get a normal copy. There's actually no options on there, and their email and customer service is really shitty. I don't know what they're like in person, but they don't have phone numbers for their stores. They don't actually have any stores in Victoria. And it takes about 3 days for them to respond to emails, and they generally respond late in the morning because they are a UK based company. So basically you take a risk with these and you get what it is. I've played a bit of Killzone 2 and 3, so I do know what I'm getting into with this game. Yeah, I'd actually love to see what this is like on the PS2. I know what it was supposed to look like on the PS3 because of that infamous E3 trailer. But yeah, look, almost complete, almost there. Obviously, $5, can't go wrong. I went wrong, but you know what? The game isn't scratched. We've got everything there. You got all that. So if I do order a proper one and it doesn't have all the innards in it, obviously I can just use this one. And moving on to the Xbox games. So we're done with the PlayStation 2 games, and the first one that I got was Forza Motorsport, the original, the OG Forza! It started off GT's biggest competitor. Now, this one's got a grey cover. I'm not 100% sure if that's the original one or not. It actually didn't come with that. Again, this was only like $4 or $3, but the disc is in good nick. It's not a platinum one, so that's good. So it'd actually be really interesting to see where this all started. So I'd need to get Forza 2, 3, 4, and 6 now. Oh, God help me. What have I done? And the second last Xbox game of the week, from what I hear, is a bit of a classic. I think I did have it like a pirated version on PC at one stage in my life, but didn't really put that much time into it. And that is the Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay. So I'm generally I'm a really big action freak for movies. So Vin Diesel is actually one of my favorite actors when it comes to action movies. So I love him in the Triple X, I love him in the Fast and the Furious. So when it came out that he was a really big video game nerd, awesome. He's going to put out some games. He's actually put out quite a couple of good ones. We just won't talk about Wheelman, will we? Although I'm sure it did have its redeeming features. I've actually got Wheelman somewhere, I think. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just not up there with the other games that are out there. Just rounding off the Xbox games of the week, we do have Grand Theft Auto, the double pack. So I'd actually been looking on CEX for the trilogy for so long. And I was sort of going down and like it said it's available. So I'd click it available to go into the basket and whatnot. But it would never show up in there. So then I actually clicked on the link to go to the game and it says actually not available. So I was like, ah. So I actually got this for $18. And again, it's a complete in box one. So we've got the custom packaging, which is a bit of a spew. I don't think it's got the map, which I'm not sure if this double pack, came with. But regardless, the discs are in good nick. Again, see, you have your booklets and whatnot. I've actually already got these. I bought them secondhand from a store, and these were the only ones that they had. I don't think they actually bought them out in singles. Maybe something Sony should have a look at. Not bringing out single discs of packaged games. Oh, low blow, Mikey. As I told you guys a bit earlier, if you do watch a bit of my shows, my brother-in-law, Juicy Lucy, otherwise known as Louie, dropped me off a bag on the weekend. He'd actually bought one of those carts for the Nintendo 64 that lets you put an SD card in. And what do you know, one SD card was the whole entire PAL ROM set. So he didn't have any need for any of his games that he already had. So he said to me, which ones do you need, which ones don't you? Because he does do a bit of stuff on the eBay. And I think there was about 2 of them that I had. So he was kind enough to donate these. So Louis, thank you. So first one, Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I will only go through these very quickly because, again, I probably don't know much about all these. Rogue Squadron. I don't know anything about this, but I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I don't know if this is supposed to be like, what was on the GameCube. I'm not 100% sure, the Rogue Squadron series. But it is something that I will definitely check out. Next up, we have Extreme G. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say it, but obviously it's a bit of a racing game. Louis, you could take up the stickers. Again, don't know half of what these are. And next up we've got, oh yes, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. I hope this is like the arcade game. Please be like the arcade game. I used to really love the arcade game of the pod racer that you could play. Just you know, made me feel like Luke before he turned to the dark side of the Force. Where was I? Next up we have NFL Quarterback Club 2000. Look, these games are always good fun when you've got a couple of mates over, you've had a couple of drinks, and you just chuck in these old games, and you just have a bit of fun with the sports games. They're really fun. Like my friend Steve, we always get together and we generally pull out the Nintendo 64 and play a lot of two-player games. It's just the way we used to roll back in the day, you know? Oh, yes! 1080. Yeah, Snowboarding. This one's actually, I never played this, but I heard a lot about this game. It's definitely one of the classics on the N64, so that's really good to have in there. What do we got? Konami International Superstar Soccer 98. Not the biggest soccer fan, but again, my friend Steve is, so we'll probably play that a bit. What the hell is this? Louis, really? Beatle Adventure Racing. This could be a rare as hell game. You never know. I knew nothing about it. It was actually made by Electronic Arts. So yeah. Oh, La Piste de la Resistance. We have Wipeout 64. This is a classic. Again, I owned 3 Nintendo 64s in one day. I used to buy them. I'd play them. I'd love them. Then I'd run out of petrol and I'd need to sell them. So I'm actually on like, I think probably my 4th or 5th game, Nintendo 64 at the moment. And to be honest, I've never owned any of these titles. I was all about the wrestling and the sports games and whatnot. So that's actually it for this week, guys. I hope you stood along to the end. To my new subscribers this week, thank you. Spread the word. I'm at 91. I really want to hit 100 soon so that I can be invigorated to buy myself a microphone so this sounds better. But guys, have yourself a great weekend. I know I am with all these games. Might check them out. If not, I'll show you the picture of where they'll be lying for the rest of the week. Anyway guys, have a great weekend. Take care. Love you all.